information. We have 4 great panelists here, and I'm super excited to interview them because we're going to be on a session that is called Broker Owner Best Practices in a Contracting Market. As you guys know, the market is shifting. This morning we're looking at the news and what happened in the last couple of days.
Interest rates.
Doesn't sound even that it's news anymore, right? It's like that's what we hear all the time.
Again.
So definitely there are some changes. I want to learn from the brokers and the experts on what are the best practices. But before we get started, I'm going to ask them to introduce themselves. And I'm going to ask Eva to start. And we're going to come this way. I want you to introduce, say your name, how you are involved with Nahrep, so they get to know you a little bit more. And also, how many years or how long have you been a broker? And what is the size of the brokerage? How many agents you have? Okay.
Evangelina Romero, originally from Los Angeles, got involved with Nahrep about 15 years ago with the San Fernando chapter. Moved to Nashville, Tennessee 12 years ago, and I founded the Nashville chapter, the only chapter there in Tennessee right now. And I am owner-broker now. Just yesterday I announced of Century 21. I'm the first Latina-owned brokerage of the Century 21 office in Tennessee, so I'm super happy. I'm super happy as being a Latina. Tennessee doesn't have a lot of Latino, it's grown. It does have, but not in comparison to LA. And I'm super involved with Nahrep. Nahrep has been pivotal in my career.
Okay, thank you. How many agents do you have?
Oh, it's a small firm, boutique firm, 6 agents.
Thank you.
Okay, hi, buenas tardes. My name is Diana Cifuentes, and I always want to share this that I'm from Mexico, and a small town in Mexico, Mante, Tamaulipas, where no real estate firm existed back then, 20 years ago when I was there. I'm the proud owner of Berkshire Hathaway Home Services in the Dallas-Fort Worth area with 30 agents.
30 agents, okay? Okay, thank you. Linda.
Buenas tardes. How is everyone? My name is Linda Luna. I am Director of Learning and Development for Realty One Group. And I have been a managing broker for 33 years. So I've seen a couple of market shifts. And so our company is at about 18,000 plus agents right now, but we do serve many brokerages that are smaller in nature. So we've had opportunities to absolutely cater to them and make sure that we have the coaching and support that they need. So.
Okay, awesome. And how long have you been in that position?
3 years.
3 years. Okay, awesome. Thank you for being here.
Sure.
Okay, Ulises.
Hello, familia. This is Ulises Vega. I'm actually blessed to be here, first and foremost. I've been in the business for 18 years. I'm a proud owner of a Century 21 office. We just rebranded about 2 months ago, so it's Century 21, the Vega team. I'm also my SoCal Inland Empire past president. I've been involved in Nahrep for about 7 years, and just blessed to be here. Hopefully, everybody can leave here with at least one thing that will radically change the way you do business. So that's our goal. I have 25 agents, and I've been a broker for almost 7 years.
So 25 agents, and how long have you been a broker for?
Almost 7.
7? Okay. So I'm excited because you can tell that we have some people that are brand new as brokers, some people that are they have a lot more experience. And let's get started. Let's start with the fun. So the first question that I have for you guys is, tell me a little bit about your secret sauce. Why people come to you versus other companies? And I'm gonna start with Eva. If you can tell us a little bit about your brokerage and what is the
secret sauce. Well, I'm a very simple person. I think my secret sauce is I'm just super direct and authentic. I don't BS. This is what I do. This is what I am. When I've gone, the agents that I have are amazing, by the way. I really, they inspire me. They're newer agents. They came to me. I have not recruited anybody since I've started. And yes, it's 6 people, but that wasn't my ultimate goal. And I think one of the things that I want to do for every single agent is be available. You have to be available. You have to be authentic and true. And you have to just really support their goals and dreams, because it's not all about you. And I really want them to succeed, because if they succeed, then I am just organically going to be okay. And I think that's just the way the world works, and that's just how I view the world. And now that I'm with Century 21, I obviously have a couple of other goals in mind with growth, but it's the culture that I bring. it's the environment.
So basically, it's you bringing the culture.
Yes,
to them.
I think it's super important. Every office has a culture. If you guys have been in many offices, and I think the culture is very reflective of the owner or the broker. It's just, and that's important.
That's good. Thank you, Diana.
Okay, for us, I have two partners, and one of my partners have been in business for more than 50 years, and we are very well known for the training. We have created, including Ruth, top producers in our area, so we are very, very well known by that. Some of them have left the office, some of them have stayed, but I think that training.
Okay, you guys can close the door, please. We cannot hear. Thank you.
Thank you for pausing.
Every time that the door opens, we cannot listen to you.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay, listen
thank
to
you.
you. Go ahead.
So the training is crucial, and I know that most of you agree with me. A couple of years back, I mean, how many agents got in the business, and whenever you are dealing with some of those agents that don't have the training, it's very, very difficult. Very,
So,
very difficult.
so what you're saying is the culture in your company is a lot of training.
It's
is that right?
about training, yes.
That's great. Thank you. Linda, go ahead.
And I love the way you said that word culture, because at Realty One Group, that's really how we define who we are, and I agree with you that it is about culture, but everyone has their own culture to bring, right? It's the broker, it's the owner, but it's how you put your story together and how you share your story to attract people to you. And that really is the most important part, and that's what we found, is that if you can identify and define who you are and be able to share that message with the right person, then that's really what brings the base of your business together and helps everyone be successful in their own right.
Okay, thank you. This is
I think as far as the secret sauce is just being real. I know what it's like to be an agent that felt neglected. I know what it's like to be a broker that felt neglected. So I've been on both sides. I always wanted to be the broker that unfortunately I never got to work for. I never worked for a broker that inspired me to dream. I never had a broker that told me, Ulysses, have you ever imagined owning an office? Or you know what, I see something in you. Maybe you can lead, maybe you can help me train. I was always discouraged. They told me that it was a pain in the behind, that there was a lot of babysitting, and I'm thinking, well, my broker has 7 offices. I want to get into the babysitting business. Why not? So to me, it's the more you discourage me, the more I want to find out why. So I ultimately became the broker that I wish I would have worked for. So my goal is to be able to inspire my agents. I want to make sure that I teach them how to become champions, because before you become champions, we talked about it, that it's all about mindset. You got to believe. And so reprogramming their mind and show them that anything is possible. I came to this country and everybody told me that I wasn't going to amount to anything, go back to your country. So to be here inspiring 50 plus rock stars here, I wish that teacher was here to see me.
Thank you for that. And you guys are mentioning that culture is really important, right? I have my team, and I know that that's the foundation. If you don't have a great culture, it's gonna fall apart, right? So what are you guys doing systematically to actually push that culture in your team? Do you do something? Maybe when you start, maybe you don't do that much. Maybe you are doing it because there's gonna be a point that you wanna scale your business, right? You wanna grow more, and maybe you don't wanna be there all the time. So how are you doing this? Anyone? Like, it doesn't have to be the 4 of you. A couple of you, I would like to hear from you.
Yeah, do you want me to start?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay,
Yeah.
so for me, the culture is important, and what I mean by that is I know who my agents are, I know their families, I know what's going on, I know, and that's just the culture that I bring. Now, to scale, I know it gets harder the more agents I have, because I do give time. Like, I could sit with my agents, I could mentor them one-on-one. It's very different when you have 6 agents versus 100 agents. So I think you're gonna have to delegate. I know I'm gonna have to delegate, and I'm not gonna be able to be everywhere at the same time. As I scale, I think I'm gonna have to incorporate new things. But I also don't wanna be 100, my agents know this, I do not wanna be like, I don't wanna have 100 agents. That's not the vision for me. So I know that I want it to be large enough where I just wanna know my people. That's how I am, that's how I wanna run my business. And then you just can merger and acquire other offices, and then you can create culture. You're going to have leaders that you're going to train to replicate your vision. That's really what I does that answer your question?
That's awesome. Okay, someone else?
I love that idea because, and I think it doesn't really matter what size you are, it's the idea to empower people. That's how you help them grow, helping them to catch their vision. People don't want to stay where they are. People want to be able to get to the next level in their businesses, and I think it's every owner's, managing broker's responsibility to meet agents where they are. Tell me where you are and where do you want to be, and what is it that I can do to help you. And I think then you make those decisions, what tools or resources, but I think also probably what's lacking in a lot of our businesses is accountability. What is it that we're doing to help making sure that you're reaching your goals? What are we doing and what can we do to help you? And you really can only do that by helping, again, meet agents where they are to help them figure out what they want to do and accomplish.
So what I hear you saying is find out where they want to go, where they are at, and you guys having to build that bridge.
Make the plan.
Okay, that's great.
I just want to
Go
add to
ahead.
that because in my opinion, some of our new agents, they don't know what they want or where they want to go. And it's up to us, the brokers and owners, to change their mindsets, I had an assistant that she was working at a kindergarten, making $20,000 a year. Okay, so in her mind, she wouldn't see her as an agent. She was afraid of taking the test. So it's up to us to put in their minds what they're capable of, right? So I think that's part of our culture in our office. Also, whenever she was ready, I said, okay, it's your turn. It's your turn to help that new agent grow, because that's the way that we grow together.
Okay, awesome. So basically they are mentoring other agents, is that right?
Mentoring other agents.
Okay, Ulysses?
I strongly believe in what these ladies mentioned, is show the agents that they're capable. I tell them that I see greatness in them, and sometimes we don't realize. I never had somebody tell me, I see something in you. So it's up to us to identify that and kind of water that plant and let them know, hey, you know what, Mario, I see some great potential in you. Maybe Mario had no idea that he could take it to the next level, but I just left him with that idea and I planted that seed, and he's gonna go home and say, you know what? This is what I was told. So to me, culture is everything. It's our responsibility to set the foundation and the groundwork so that it could be comfortable for them to shine. Like I said, I know what it's like to have a discouraging broker and don't know what a business plan or a P&L or an E&O insurance is, so I let them know. How do you see yourself running your business a year, 3 years, 5 years from now? What are your goals? Personal, business? Is your partner involved with you? Your significant other? Because sometimes we can encourage an agent at the office, but then they get home and they get discouraged by their spouses. Why? Because it could be the limited beliefs. Well, if he or she makes more money than me, he or she is not going to need me, and he or she is going to. I mean, again, it's that inferiority mentality, and it's like, again, if the person that you're with is not your biggest fan or your number one cheerleader, it's going to be a long ride. Absolutely. I always tell people, check your circle as often as you check your phone, and sometimes if somebody is in here, I check my phone all the time, but I also have to check myself and reprogram myself. If somebody's in your inner circle and they're not bringing any value, they're not making you happy, they're not making you money, you're not learning from them, they have to go. And if that means a best friend that you thought was a best friend, or a spouse, or somebody that's not willing to grow and take it to the next level, I'm obsessed with growing. So if somebody that's going to be in my inner circle doesn't want to take over the world like I do, then you can still have dinner. I want you to eat. We're just not going to sit at the same table together.
Yes.
And I love that it's coming from a man on our panel, because I was going to say that.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you. So what I hear you guys saying is the culture is culture of growth, accountability, motivation, and also check your circle. The people that is influencing your activities, the way that you think. And now that the market is shifting, sometimes it's hard to keep a positive mindset. How can you, or what do you think are the best practices as you brokers are implementing in your brokerage with your agents to keep them positive and to keep moving along through these different times? I wouldn't call it difficult, but just different times.
So on the preparation call I mentioned, we recruit them. Are they ready to continue to work this market? Because estamos bien chiflados from last year, right? Some of my agents made a lot of money flipping, closing lots of transactions, and I saw in them that they didn't want to work as they were working before. And then I had a meeting with them. One of my preferred lenders were there, my agents, and one by one, I was asking them, do you want to continue to work? Because I saw on some of them that they didn't want to. They had a lot of money, they made a lot of money, and the passion with what they started, it wasn't in them anymore. They were thinking here about money, not about helping families, not advancing sustainable Hispanic homeownership. So I re-recruited right at that meeting. Are you ready to continue the market? Just shifted. So re-recruited.
So my question that I have for you is, what happened to those that they say no? So you just
No, they say they stayed, but I wanted to hear from them that they wanted to stay and continue to work hard.
A commitment.
Correct.
Okay.
I think it's also getting back to the basics. We were. I mean, I got into the business when things were great before the market crashed. Remember that? Anybody that long in the business? Where everything was amazing, and I didn't listen to my broker. I did a lot of wrong things. I was making money, and he said save for a rainy day, save for a rainy day, and Eva thought it's gonna be amazing. And I really was just counting my numbers before I cashed out the check and spending the money before I had the money. Anyway, that was old Eva a long time ago. I learned the market crashed and it kicked my butt. And I hope you guys don't have to ever go through that, but that made me realize, Eva, you have to go back to the basics and find why you're doing what you're doing. Like reignite that passion. And one of the things I tell my agents, and I do every time, I try to live and breathe what I say. I am very big on mindset, like personal development. Like I'm always listening to something, I'm always reading something. I'm big on working out. I have a gym at the office that they're welcome to use. I am very big about that. Like you have to keep it going. Like it's not, we're in a business where you're your own boss. I mean, not a lot of people can say that. I used to be a teacher. I used to be on the clock. I know what it's like to ask for time off. I could never do that again. Because I like my independence. We're in this, right? Because we want to be, but there's a responsibility that comes with that. There's just like we're running a business. I don't care if you're running a team or you're a broker. If you're an independent agent, that is your book of business. So you have to be business minded. And every successful people that I know have a routine. They are reading personal development. They're doing something for themselves to help continually grow. Because if you don't grow, you're gonna just stay stagnant, right?
You don't.
So yeah, and I think it's important what you said. It's like reignite that passion. Like say, hey, remember this? You know, why did you get in the business? Like maybe helping them dream bigger. Like, you know, maybe you mentioned something really important. Like a lot of agents that come in the business, they just come in, they want to make money. I just want to make money. And they think it's really easy.
Yeah.
Just everybody in our market, I don't know in your guys' market, we have a lot of agents with licenses and they thought it was going to be great and they're not selling because they went back to work. It's not that easy. You know, so yeah, I think you really have to go back to your why. Because it's really not that bad of a market. It really isn't. It's the narrative you're telling you. I know bad market is when the market crashed and rates are not that high. I tell my agents, people are like, oh, it's so high. No, don't say that. Don't say that. Like the reality is we're still in a good market. Yes, inventory's low in some markets, but it's still a great market. Don't, look into the positive instead of the negative. There's great articles about how the market is good, and there's a few that aren't. So don't share those on social media, because the doom and gloom of real estate is not true.
Okay, thank you. So I just want to summarize a little bit what you guys mentioned. So some of the things, the best practices that you talk to your agents is commitment. So recommit, and let's connect with the why, because sometimes we forget, and when it gets tough, we need to reconnect and say, okay, why am I doing this? Mindset is really important, and we need to be proactive. not just wishing that we want to feel good. So you mentioned exercising, and actually we were in another session before this one. I don't know if you were part of that. They were talking about health, and it is mindset, and they were mentioning something really powerful, and it is your responsibility to have the positive mindset. So it was really powerful what they shared. I don't remember the name of the guy, but it was he, one of them, and it was somebody else. But it is our responsibility. Watch what you listen to, exercise what you watch, so you're protecting this mindset. Thank you. So, do you want to add anything else, Linda or Ulises?
I really would love to, because I've heard the word business several times, and that is one aspect that I don't think agents really consider themselves doing. They don't realize you're running a business. You're working for yourself. So think from that perspective. Look at yourself. What is your financial picture look like? Do you know the potential income that you have? Do you know what your budget is? I mean, this is not just the activity of, oh, I have to list 2 properties and sell 3 every month to pay my bills. That's not what this is. You'll never ever gain any level of success. So the idea is knowing your numbers, and then what is your plan, right? What does your market look like? What do you need to do to close those 3 transactions every month, and be very consistent, and then really just reaching out.
Okay.
Very
Setting the mood.
I think someone has to go.
Yeah,
Románticos.
And I know.
we get the chance to prepare for the gala.
All right.
Prepare for the gala, yes.
Very good.
And again, it's really just keeping them in touch with what business planning looks like, because they have to think that way, that no one else is going to be responsible for them and their business but themselves. And to really coach them to that, and to help keep them accountable to what they're doing, and they're gonna reach levels that they never imagined possible. And I think that people that have the smaller brokerages have that luxury almost. You have that opportunity to sit down one-on-one and say, let's talk about your business. What is it that you want to accomplish? And really have them voice what it is that they want to accomplish, and then help them put that plan together. So I think that's really important too.
Thank you. So something that I like that you mentioned is business. I'm gonna bring a question. Are you building, or do you have a business or a high-paid job?
Yeah.
I just want you to think about it. What are you building? A business or a high-paying job? Okay, so let's continue.
Well, back to the previous question. I mean, I think it's important that we take care of our health. Recently, I actually made a radical change in my health, because my poor eating habits, poor exercise, you name it, I gained so much weight. My health was beginning to deteriorate, and I had to make a radical change. And I remember one of the Nahrep 10 principles. For those of you that are familiar with the Nahrep 10, it's a set of principles that if you follow them, they can radically change not only your lifestyle, but your business and everybody around you. So one of the Nahrep 10 principles talks about being physically fit, because wealth without health is meaningless. So you can be making a lot of money, but if your health is deteriorating, what good does it do? So I dropped 23 pounds in the last 2 months, which it might not seem like a lot. But when you're already in your 40s, dropping 20 pounds is not easy.
It's not. It's
It's
hard.
but
Yeah.
I'm proud of the accomplishment, but I want more. Thank you. But at the end of the day, I think that having more energy to be able to take your business at a world-class level, it's crucial. So knowing what you eat, I don't eat past 8 o'clock. I'm just very mindful of what I put in my body. Also, what you listen. What are you listening? Of course, I love music. Prior to real estate, I was actually a singer-songwriter musician. But what are you listening to? People sometimes make fun of me. They're like, you have the voice of a broadcaster.
Yes. He does.
You have to change the voice.
Exactly.
But at the end of the day, one of the things that I do a lot, and I encourage my agents to do, is a lot of social media and video content.
Yes, sir.
If a picture's worth 1,000 words, how much is a video?
Video's
People have to trust you, like you, in order for them to hire you. If you put a post that anybody could do, you're just like one of 2 million licensees. Not even realtors, licensees.
Yes.
So how do you separate yourself from the pack? So one of the things that I encourage my agents to do is learn to embrace how you look like, how you sound. If you have an accent, I have an accent, but it hasn't discouraged me, because then I could target 2 million people with an accent like mine. So embrace how different you are. So a lot of people, in my office, and a lot of agents, even outside offices, are like, you know what, I don't do video content because I don't like the way I look. I'm too thin, or I'm too this, or you know what, next time I'll do a video because I didn't bring the right shirt that I wanted. The right woman never exists. So, and learn how to embrace how you sound like, because people want to be more concerned about the content more than, you know, do you have the right shirt, or is the tie correct? Learn to embrace yourself, because you got to be your number one cheerleader. If you're not your number one cheerleader, nobody else will. So my question to all of you, if you guys are lenders, ladies, lenders, realtors, would you hire yourself to list or buy a home? And if you guys are lenders, would you do your own loan? And if you have to take 3 more seconds to answer that question, that means that we got to work on our craft. I would hire myself in a heartbeat. The question is, would we?
Yes.
There you go.
That's it.
That's great. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you for what you guys have been sharing. So the question that I have for you, I am a broker too, and the question that I have is, have you had to adjust anything with the market shift that we are living right now? Have you had to do strategically any changes? And what are those changes as brokers that you're doing?
For me, I definitely needed a change. I don't know if it was the baby I just had 7 months ago. I think we go through life just like ups and downs and, you know, valleys and hills. And for me, I thought I was just gonna stay Evaco Properties, was gonna be fun. I'm doing my business, I'm comfortable. And then I had the baby and I'm like, might stay home. And then I'm like, you know, not a stay-at-home mom, but just part-time. And then I realized, no, what's next, you know? And then I realized I needed to grow. I needed to grow my business because I wanted to provide more value to my agents that I currently have. And I needed systems that I don't have in place right now for that. And I realized where my true passion lies. And in order to do that, I branded with a big company that already has that. And Century 21 was the best brand for my vision. They're very well aligned with my vision of growth. They're very well, and I'm not saying this like Century 21, but it's just such a great brand, and it's very big on Hispanic marketing. And in my area, there's not a lot of Latino, representation, I feel, in comparison to like Florida, LA, New York. So for me, I needed a change. So I rebranded, I launched my brokerage with a bigger brand, especially in a shifting market. I know a lot of companies in Tennessee that are merging with other brokerages that are very well known. And I think that's just, they were doing it before I considered, so I feel if the big guys are doing something different because maybe the market is shifting, they're just joining forces, then maybe it's a good idea, and I just followed that suit.
Thank you. So that's your adjustment.
Quick one.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Okay, go ahead. What kind of adjustments have you made?
Really, we haven't got any overhead. We continue to work as the same. We still hiring, but what we have is we have strengthened our partnerships with our lenders, title companies, insurance companies, especially the lenders. We do a lot of training. It's gonna take a good program for your buyers to decide to move on with the purchase. So I think we're doing that. We're bringing lenders every other day to the office to share about all the specific special purpose credit programs, I think is what it's called. Yeah, so we really need to have the agents prepare, because how many buyers are gonna say no to the high interest rates? So that's what we're doing, and that's just based on production. We know that production is gonna still there because we know all the programs in our area. And we're very familiar, and we're proud to know what it's available for them, because it's not about us, it's about our clients.
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you. So basically strengthen the relationship with the lenders, knowing the programs real well, train your agents to know how to talk to the clients so
Correct.
they can keep moving along.
And also, I am the one reviewing the data, because I think there's a lot of opinions out there on TikTok, YouTube, you name it. I hear a lot of fake news. The other day, one of
We have that?
the #1 Latino agent in Nahrep Top 50. What's her name? forgot her name.
Cheryl?
But she created a video, very educational, and I congratulate her because it's the first video that I saw with the right information. So data versus opinion. So be careful, please.
That's a great
Thank
point.
you.
I'd say we've been in shifting markets for at least 2 years, right? I think we were all hit blindsided essentially with 2020. And when the world shut down, everything else seemed to shut down. And I think it's during those times that are unexpected things that happen, you have to be able to shift and turn and say, okay, let's pause for a minute and see what is missing. What is something different that we can do, right? Because as you were talking earlier, good markets create lazy agents, right? And bad habits, right? So the idea is yes, always being back to the basics, but markets are always gonna shift. They're always changing. There's something always is around the corner. So, you know, just really keeping your finger on the pulse, not only of your agents, but of everything else that's in your market and what else is available and what is out there that's gonna match up with who you are and what you have to offer your agents. So you always have to just be ready and saying, okay, well maybe we have to offer a mastermind call, or maybe we have to offer another opportunity for coaching and, you know, give more one-on-ones. There's just always something different, but I think if you just if you're always working in your business and not working on your business, you really lose sight of your direction. So I think you always have to be aware, and I'm telling you, there's a shift now, there's gonna be another shift in a few years, really. So just always be ready to change and be nimble, be quick, be aware of your market, and don't pigeonhole yourself in anything. Always be aware and be ready to take on the next thing.
Yeah, thank you. So we should be willing to adapt
Absolutely.
all the time, right? If anyone has been in the business since 2005, you have experienced the ups and downs. So you just need the ones that adapt the quickest are the ones that they're gonna take advantage of the business, and actually you're gonna kill it even more later on. So, Ulises.
Well, you know, just reinventing yourself. The markets are shifting constantly. So I got into the business prior to the market crash, kind of like our fellow panelists here, that we didn't get intimidated when we were shut down, unfortunately. My mind kind of reverberated to what happened in 07. I got into the business in 06, the market crashes a year later, and I'm like, I just got in here. I'm not leaving. So back then, I adapted to short sales. I adapted to what the market was giving us. And I shifted, so when March 2020 hit and we shut down, I went back to the basics and I literally started calling all of my past clients, friends, and just have actual conversations about how are you doing? How's your family? Do you need me to pick up your meds? Do you need me to pick up something for your elderly parents? Something that had nothing to do with real estate, but it was just those connections, those relationships, and then they brought back real estate. And hey, by the way, Ulysses, how's your office? Hey, is it a good time to sell? Is it a good time to buy? But the basics was what allowed me to shift. I remember when we were shut down, some of our agents got COVID, and it was just my assistant and myself. And I remember that first month, just her and I, we opened 25 escrows. It might not seem like a lot, but offices that were in our city for 30 plus years were closing their doors. And for some reason, we were still open. So I always tell my agents that we're like this bad rash that just won't go away. In a good way, by the way. I don't want to see,
It's a
you know.
good rash.
Yeah, it's a good rush. If there ever was one, right? But at the end of the day, you have to be able to reinvent yourself and not be one-dimensional. If you're a real estate agent, what are you looking to do? Are you looking to be a real estate agent for the rest of your life? Are you looking to become a broker? By the way, I want to give my brother Mario a big hand for becoming a broker recently. Always try to take your business to the next level. Always try to reinvent yourself and separate yourself from others. I'm looking to open up a mortgage division. I have the DRE approved escrow division. I have the broker license, but I'm always looking to add more. They always say that in order to survive any market, you got to have 7 or 8 sources of income. So if your leg only has one leg, it's a matter of time before everything collapses. So if you don't have 4 sources of income or 4 sources of where your business is coming from, even the easy markets are gonna blow you away. So just go back to the basics. Always put the client first. But our immediate clients, when it comes to being brokers or owners, it's our agents. I tell my agents, without you all, there wouldn't be an office. I recently rebranded to Century 21 as well. And I was 7 years at a company where it was boutique, but I felt that what got me there wasn't going to take me to where I wanted to go. And I was ready to play at the world-class level that I always wanted. And I'm not going to deny and say that I wasn't fearful of the change, because it's a major change. And I remember when I got the call that the application had gotten accepted, and they're like, "Hey, Ulysses, welcome to the C21 family." I didn't know how to react, because it was so long of a process, and it was pre-pandemic that we started talking. This has been an 18-year journey. So a lot of people tell me, "Man, it seems like it's gone so fast through social media. Everything seems so easy." But it's been an 18 journey of ups and downs, of sometimes not knowing how you're going to pay the overhead. If you have to go and sing at Los Camiones, but again, you gotta stay true to yourself and believe that, hey, you know what? If it's up to me, if it's meant to be, it's up to me.
Yes.
Be your number one cheerleader, and again, just believe in yourself obsessively, and always be learning.
Thank you. So since you talk about opening the brokerage, I think that maybe some people in the audience, they would like to open a new business, even if it is escrow, maybe.
Don't!
He wants to open it. No.
Don't be that guy.
So if you want to open a brokerage, or if you want to open even a lending company, could you share with us what are some of the things that you wish that you would have known or done differently when you open your company? So we can learn from those lessons that you had.
I'm gonna keep it rated G. I know I've shared with my brother some of my stories. I just wish I would have been told what I was getting myself into. I was told, go get yourself an office, go get yourself a lease, and that's it. And I was like, okay, well, that's easy. My 13-year-old can do that. And I got myself a lease, and I remember I made that call, and I said, I'm ready. When are you gonna come and teach me? They're like, Mr. Ulysses, you're on your own. True story. Those were the words, and I said, damn, if I would have known that this was going to be what I was told, I would have not opened that office. But again, it forced me to level up. You either sink or swim. Sharks don't wake up every morning and say, damn, I don't feel like being a shark. What do sharks do? They bite. Shut up, excuse my language. So, are you a fish or are you a shark? So, at the end of the day, if you could dream it, why not live it? If somebody tells you, you know what, I don't think you have what it takes to become a broker, or I don't think you have what it takes to become a leader, or I don't see you as a team leader, they see something that they feel intimidated by, and pursue it. If I'm here sitting in front of 50, 70 of you, talking about how I did it, if I was able to do it, anybody can. This is somebody that came to this country with nothing, a 7.5-year-old that had to learn English in 2 months because I was thrown at a regular class, not ESL. I ran a successful brokerage with over 1,400 sales in 18 years and over 500 million. Anybody can. But I had to become my number one cheerleader. I had to tell myself every single day, you got this, you got this. So any of you here that have thought about opening a lending office, a real estate office, everything that you've all ever wanted has been on the other side of fear. And the life that you all have dreamed of living for your kids, for your spouses, for your loved ones, it's on the other side of that uncertainty, of that fear of, man, maybe I need to stay where I'm at. If we stay in our comfort zone, nothing will ever happen. I'll leave you guys with this question before they turn off the mic on me. Oh, darn it, okay. The comfort zone is where dreams go to die. When I heard that, I was like, wow. So if you like being in the comfort zone, that's where your dreams are gonna end up staying. So be fearless and just go out there and make mistakes. You only lose when you stop trying.
Thank you.
Where's the podcast? Where can I hear you every morning?
Radio 103.1.
So I'm gonna go to Diana. Diana, what are some of the things that you would have wanted to know when you started your company that it would have helped you a lot?
No, I'm gonna say that I'm very blessed, and I think I'm fearless. I have never feared, I can say anything. I was not feared to make the move. My kids are here, and whenever I was ready to make the move, I just had a dinner with them and with my husband, and I said, hey, there's the opportunity to become owner, and it was more like, hey, do you give me the permission, because it's gonna take time from my family, right? But I just want to say this: if you're thinking just about you, oh, I want this company, I want this 38, blah, 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 blah. It's gonna be very, very difficult. Think about the families. You're not only gonna change that agent. I see it in my agents. All the possibilities that they have now, they travel, they can send their kids to college, they don't have to, their kids, they were afraid to send kids to college because they needed to get a scholarship, and now they can pay for their college. And I heard one of my agents, because I sit outside. I have my office, and I have a lot of mugrero, como dicen, you know? I have my office there, a big office, but I like to be outside sitting around my agents. Doing my work, have my computer, I have my spot right there. Because I want to hear what they're saying. And I heard one of my agents say, ay, no tenía para comprar carne. You know, and I was like, but with the stimulus check, I was able to go and buy carne and buy camarones and whatever, you know? And then after, I think she closed 1 month, she closed 5 transactions just recently. So it's gonna be very difficult if you're thinking just about yourself. But if you think about all the lifestyle you're gonna change, it's gonna be easier. And it's gonna have purpose, right? So I know it's not gonna be easy, but when you don't think about yourself, it's gonna be worth it. So I just want to leave you with that.
So basically, if you want to be a broker, if you go just for the money, you're going the wrong direction. So you need to be passionate about serving others, empowering others, because it's gonna take a lot of you, and you need to have the passion, right? So I'm gonna do like a quick answer, okay, Ulysses? Not long. So what I wanna know is, what is 1 or 2 books that you would recommend for everyone, for the audience to read in these moments that it will be helpful? Some book that has empowering you, and it will be important maybe in these times of uncertainty for some people, shifting markets. Okay, so I'm gonna start at the end. You just start, Eva.
I have a couple that I would recommend, but there's one called, if you guys haven't read it, it's called You Are a Badass. I think that's a very good book. I love it. I have so many on my Audible. But I will say, if you haven't looked at Jim Rohn, he's like a classic business philosopher. He's like the teacher of Tony Robbins. I know, but he was one of my mentors. Like, I actually got to meet him. He's just, the Seasons of Life, those are really good basics that you just gotta go back to the basics. Really good book about life, business, everything's interconnected.
Okay.
So I think it's super important those are some good books.
Okay, so You Are a Badass, and the one Jim Rohn, follow him,
Jim
7
Rohn.
Seasons.
Seasons
right?
of Life,
Seasons of
and
Life.
he has like a couple, and they're really small, quick books, and they're great.
Okay. 12 Pillars of Success and other ones, right?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead, Diana.
For me, I'm sorry, but sometimes I feel like I'm weird. So I'm not like that person. Oh, I have to read a book every day, and I finish this one, and I have to move to the next one. Whenever I need to learn something, I Google what is the best resource, and I go and purchase that book, ebook, whatever. But what I really like to read is the Harvard Business Review, and I'm registered through them. I receive their emails, I receive their magazines, and whenever, like, let's say, Teams, okay, I go and purchase the book because I need to learn on Teams or whatever, or I don't feel comfortable, I need more information. So that's what I do, and every day my sister, last year she said, you have to start reading your Bible, and I've been reading my Bible every day, so I love it.
Okay,
Yes.
Nice.
that's great. So the Bible and Harvard Business Review.
If
Okay.
they have books, they have articles, they have magazines, I love them.
Yeah. I agree with you there. I think one of the books that has had the most impact on me lately is called Atomic Habits
Oh, so good.
by James Clear, and it's, to me, so powerful because really it's not about making massive changes in your lives, personally or professionally. It's about that 1%. Those little changes that you can make that over time will have the greatest impact in your business and in your life. So, and a lot of that really is based on mindset and changing it and keeping it. And I love what you said earlier about, you know, it's what you put in your body and in your mind, right? So it's keeping it all clean and all positive, especially. So, but I would say that Atomic Habits.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Atomic
And I
Habits.
just want to add to that. That's why also because I don't pick any book because sometimes I don't like the way the writers write or describe things. So that's why I don't pick books like that. So I'm very picky, particular.
Okay, go ahead, Ulysses.
I would say the first one that really opened my eyes was The Greatest Salesman in the World by Og Mandino.
I love
I
it.
actually read it in the 8th grade. My dad gave it to me, and it just opened my mind. Sales is an art.
Yeah.
People think that you have to lie in order to sell, and you have to advise. When people tell me, what do you do? I'm a real estate wealth advisor. So, The Greatest Salesman in the World. Another one, How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. A must-have. And probably the last one, I would say, How to Talk to Anyone by Leo Lotus. How to Talk to Anyone. Those 3 books definitely, and again, audibles, whether it's hard copies. I tell my kids, read. You know, the average American reads 3 books a year. The average CEO reads 53. So think about that one. It's actually true.
That's right. Thank you so much. So I'm gonna take 2 or 3 questions that you may have for them. So we don't have a lot of time, so we can go be brief. And who has any questions for them? Go ahead.
Oh, not a question, just a statement though. So I do read 2 books a month and I just downloaded 4 right now on Audible. So thank
Good
you.
for you. Good for you.
Good job. Okay, who has any questions for them? Come on, guys.
Not all at once.
No questions? Oh, go ahead.
I want to ask, when do you guys became a broker? How do you manage that liability of becoming a broker? You know, because
question.
yeah, thank you.
For me, it was almost 7 years ago, and that was one of my fears. Like,
Yeah.
wow, I want to tackle all the liability. What's going to happen to me? But again, when you're running a business, even pre-broker times, I've always kept it ethical. I've always put the client first. I've never cut corners. I've never taken shortcuts. I've never taken kickbacks. I could sleep well at night knowing that the FBI is not going to come at night knocking on my door at 3 in the morning with my, There you go. We just did a reenactment. But at the end of the day, always keep it ethical. If you're running your business right now as a real estate agent, ethically, being a broker is just having an extra license. Now you're a leader. Now it's a matter of empowering others. But if you're an unethical realtor, you're going to be an unethical broker. So just be true to yourself, and also who you hire has to have those principles. I don't bring somebody on board that's going to sell 30 houses plus a year that's going to get sued every other week. I don't need your business. My goal is put the client first above anything else and help the client whether they want to buy a $30,000 mobile home or a $5 million apartment building. You go all out without thinking of the commission. That's the end result if you do what you promised the client to do. So great question though.
Okay, last question. Go ahead.
Are you, all of you, are you still selling and listing? Yes or no?
I still produce. Yes.
You still produce?
Yes, I want to do it because that gives me really the feeling of the market, right?
Boots on the ground.
Right,
Yep.
right. So, and my clients don't see me as a competitor, so I still do it, and I think it works well.
I'm focusing more on listings. I don't compete with my agents, and that's one thing that I tell agents looking to join my office. I'm not going to compete with you. You are going to get to the promised land, but if I'm with you on your corner, you're going to get there a lot faster. I don't remember when was the last time I went to a listing appointment, I didn't get it. That's the mindset that I have. From my performing musician days, to me, every time I go to a listing appointment, it's showtime. I take my agents to my listing appointments. I take them to my buyer appointments so they know how the broker handles it. There's a lot of brokers out there that just sit at their office looking pretty and wait for the deals to close. I go out there, roll my sleeve, and I show them how to do it. And that's how I build my culture, and that's how they follow me. It's all been organically. I haven't hired a recruiter to help me grow. It's all been because they see me on social media. By the way, I would love to connect with all of you. Everybody has Instagram? Everybody has a phone? Yeah. The Vega team. So hopefully I'll go from the Vega team. Hopefully I'll go from two followers to 55 after today.
So did you say become what team?
Yeah,
No,
yeah. Follow them too.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna go. Eva, do you wanna?
No, I
something?
actually am moving away from it. All my agents do more residential. I am focusing more on commercial and some luxury. And I would like to stay away from being a competing broker. I want them to take up. I want to focus more on development. So that's kind of my. I don't want to be a competing broker. I want them to do what they want to do, whatever they want to do. But I don't want to be a competing broker.
Thank you. So something that is interesting, how do you see it? Each one of them is really different. And we didn't have time for them to share their goals. They have different goals. And there are a lot of different possibilities. And that's one of the beauties of real estate.
Absolutely, yeah.
You can develop yourself, you need to keep growing, you need to confront your fears, you need to get out of your comfort zone. The most important thing is that you need to take action. Have some energy. I think that he has a little bit of energy. And you can see that. Some other people are more mellow, but they can still produce. So that's the beauty of this business. And don't forget that we're impacting people's lives. I think that's the thing that we cannot forget. So I know that there are some other questions, but I'm gonna have to wrap up. So you already told me that I need to finish.
I just want to say something. Whoever here is not a broker owner, I mean, we have a lot of opportunities. Please make sure to visit Century 21. Please make sure to visit Remax and Berkshire, because I've been approached by those, and well, I'm a Berkshire owner, but they have very, very good opportunities. So I hope to see you next year as a broker owner.
Thank
And
you,
I'm gonna
everybody.
piggyback that with Realty One Group. Jonah. I have a question. Airdrop it to you. I'll send it to you.